Hi, this is Mary Baca with Remotely Unique, and I am coming to you today from Albuquerque, New Mexico, starting a series that will run through July, introducing you to my team. Actually, I have an administrative team, I have a marketing team, and I have a holistic team and a clinical team. Lots of different teams. We all work together to get things done here, all for really all geared toward helping people. And today is my guest is Cynthia Sanchez. She's my business manager, and I'm excited to introduce you to her. There's many different facets to you, Cynthia, which is amazing. We talk, I think, on every level, right? We talk business, we talk personal, we talk spiritual, we talk holistic, we talk all kinds of things. And so that's one thing I think that really impresses me about you. One, you're a very sharp woman. You are very, very intelligent. Truly, I mean that. And you can talk about anything, because we've kind of covered the gamut of different things. So tell our listeners and viewers how you came to work at Odyssey Counseling.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Cynthia Sanchez, and Mary is correct. We definitely never have a dull moment in our conversations. Yeah. And I thank you for the nice compliments. And I really believe, and we've talked about this many times, that I will tell you the story, but at the end of the day, this was all divine intervention. I believe for this time in life, we have a spiritual life that is more awakened in this time than any other time. So my story goes, right around 4 years ago, I started my own business, and it was called Hummingbird Consultant Services. I have a daughter that was, not in a good place, and she had a baby. And the state called me, and they said, look, if you don't pick up your grandchild, we will admit him into CYFD. So I had to drop my career not really my career, but my business opportunities that I had. I had a few clients. So my income dropped. I was in a place of transition. So all I know is that I struggled, and I had no choice to go to the state for help. And so the state put me on a program called New Mexico Workforce Solutions, and I had to fulfill some of the courses and the different types of career links that they asked me to do.
That was the name of the program, right? Career Links through New Mexico
Workforce Solutions. Yes. Uh-huh. So Career Links, they asked me, what do you want to do? We are here to help you fulfill your desires. And I said, my desire was to run my own business, but unfortunately I'm not able to do that. I don't have daycare. I didn't have the means financially to take care of my 2-month-old grandson. And I was literally from house to house at that point. And everyone that was in that time of my life was able to kind of guide me and help me with my little legend. So anyways, I was in this program, and they asked me what I wanted to do. But spiritually, I knew that no job was satisfying for me. I couldn't just go anywhere. I already knew that. Mm-hmm. The only thing I could do is follow what my spirit life wanted me to do, which has been guided for the last 10 years plus. Mm-hmm. So they said they had two. I said I always wanted to help people and become a counselor and maybe do some social work. They said, well, we have 2 counseling agencies that are on the program that we could probably place you at and give you an idea of what it's like and see if that's something you want to do. And I said, that sounds great. And they said, we have 2. And they gave me 2 names. I don't even remember the other one. But Odyssey came to me, and I said, I like that name. I said, I would love to get an interview with Odyssey. That would be wonderful. And here I am thinking, I'm going to get in with Odyssey. They're going to show me all these great things. I'm going to be able to work with people. But I know how how I'm supposed to be, because of course I had been working with myself and learning how to, how do you say, like, call things to your life, like
manifesting.
Yeah, manifest the things that you want in your life, and how you behave to get them. So I already know we have to humble ourselves and let God guide you and show you what you need to do in order for him to open all the doors of your life.
Yes.
So when I got here, I met Jamie, and she was lovely from the start.
Who was the business manager at the time?
Jamie,
right?
yeah. She was really sweet, kind, and I felt comfortable. And, of course, I didn't know what my duties were going to be yet. So I'm not one to sit around. So what do? I start cleaning the bathrooms. I start filing more than I should. I was just wanting to stay busy. I thought it was going to be a little bit more in-depth work, trying to figure out how things go. And I was on my own for a while. And then it's strange how things happen, right?
Yes.
Like, Jamie got sick, and she left. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the hot seat. And I'm running the show, and I'm learning all these new things,
Teaching yourself.
Teaching
a lot
myself.
of it, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So from credentialing to billing to claims to filing to even your HR stuff, right? So it was good, though. I really am thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful for Odyssey Counseling because I have come a long way.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you took, I think you're just that kind of person that you're very independent, and my observation of you is you take the bull by the horns and you just run with it,
Story of my life, Mary.
But it's a good thing. I mean, from what I've seen, it's a really good thing. Here, I mean, you are so caring, and you truly, truly, truly care about our clients. It's not just a job to you. You care about everybody and I know that because you'll approach me, like when you take a call, from somebody who's in crisis or somebody who, we have a wait list like every other counseling agency in town, and you'll take a call from somebody that really needs to be seen, and you'll come to me and be like, this person really needs to be seen. Like, you take that extra effort to make sure that not only our clients but the public, that they get their needs met, and I think that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, Mary, that's actually very true. We get quite a few clients that I've learned not to let them affect me, but more be sympathetic rather than empathetic, right? Because there's a big difference. And me being empathetic, even over the phone, I believe that's why we have 45 people on this wait list, because they feel that when they talk to me or anybody here that has answered the phone, we ask them questions that are important to them.
Right.
And I'm always asking, on a level from 1 to 10, where's your anxiety? Mm-hmm. Because that determines, for me, of how I need to approach you about them.
Right.
And let you know, hey, this person, may have, a little bit more than this one. How should we handle it? Well, call them back, refer them out, make sure that they get seen, so that way we're not missing something in case something happens to them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we take all that very seriously, like from, it all starts in your department, and now she actually has a department, which is so cool. She has two employees that she manages. That was not the case when you first started. You were doing it all.
Right.
And so, but now you actually have an administrative department, and, really taking that serious, like not just from a business standpoint, but from a human standpoint, right?
Well, when I started, we had, 3 or 4 clinicians, and now we have 9.
Right.
So we've grown.
Yes.
And I really believe it's because all the ingredients are where they need to be.
Right.
And that's the only time you see business grow, is when you know if you're able to keep up that workload, then you're going into the right direction. Mm-hmm. Especially if everything came natural. There was no problems. It was an easy flow. And then we got the people that came in to help, and we interviewed them, and they came for a little while, and those that stayed for a little while were supposed to be here for that little while. Right. And then the ones that, flowed on their way, they went their way, and that's what I love about Odyssey is that, and mainly you, because you're a fearless leader, of course, but I like how, we get these employees and it's almost like they love being here, even though they know they're only here for a few months. They're so thankful to work for you.
Like the admin?
And just be part, just to be part of the energy that's going through this building and through us. When they leave, they come back, or they don't come back. They call and they say thank you. Just wanted to tell you thank you for having me there, even if it was for 2 months. It was a wonderful feeling, and it was something that happened to me that helped me grow, wherever they needed to go on to their next level. And so we're doing things like all the way around, from the clients to the clinicians, even to our workers.
Right.
We all get something out of it.
Yes.
And to me, that's why I'm here, because it's fulfilling.
Well,
it's
and you're very strategic about that. Like you've said to me on more than one occasion, you're like, I want to help so-and-so develop and grow so that if they move on to another job,
that's right.
They'll have these skills, and you're really, I don't think you realize, because it's just who you are, but I realize, because I've had my business, I have 4 businesses, but I've had Odyssey Counseling for over 30 years. But in addition to that, I've worked for other companies. Until about 15 years ago, I always worked for other places. And so I've seen business managers. And to some people, it's just a job. They clock in at 8, they leave at 5 or whatever, You're not like that. Like you bring that spiritual aspect of yourself. And what I mean by that is that you truly care for people and you treat everybody from that place in your heart. You take very good care of us, all the clinicians, myself. You take care of your staff, of the holistic team, and then our clients above all, right? Our clients, you just take really good care from a very authentic place. And I think you don't always recognize that you do that, because that's just who you are, But you do. You're so caring and so very businesslike now. You don't, I think when you first started, I'd have to be like, you can't run things with your heart, like completely, because sometimes that's not helping people. Yeah. But so I've seen you grow, amazingly, just amazing in amazing ways. For example, you're now a Reiki 1 and 2 certified practitioner.
Yes.
And so, that's been something that you've been able to accomplish while you're here, and you've received holistic services, and, and then now you're practicing. Yeah, so talk about that, because I think that's exciting.
Well, the opportunities here are priceless. I believe that when you're on a spiritual journey, we never know where that's going to take you. Had somebody told me, 5 years ago that I was going to be part of a holistic center and I was going to be running the business, and I was actually going to go in and get my own social worker's degree and be licensed with Reiki. No way. That would have never, of course, I would have been like, wow, that would be amazing. But maybe that's what happened. Maybe I manifested it even back then when I was on my spiritual journey. And now it's almost like so easy for me to say, wow, I thought it was going to be hard. But when things are meant to be, they just come easy.
So true. Yeah.
It's not like I have to work hard for it. It comes natural, and it's almost like I'm guided what to do.
Yes.
And before, I was working at this other employment where it was a clock in, clock out, taking people's money, and I just didn't feel any gratification in that.
Yeah.
It was a great company and all, but I just didn't feel like it was me in my life. But anyways, back to this holistic stuff. It's been great. In fact, with my new staff, what I am planning on doing is doing our breaks together and doing our meditations. So
nice.
Letitia already offered that she would be the the guide for
Oh,
meditation.
beautiful.
I'm okay, but I think she's a little better. Of course she is. But so she said
she's a practitioner now for about a
she's
year
been
and a
doing it
half.
way longer than I have been. So she said she would go ahead and guide us in our meditations. So that way, we're a little bit more.
Maybe you could invite any of the other staff.
Yeah.
Even including
available.
Myself. Yeah, whoever's whatever time you're going to do. Yeah. Wow.
So that was something we spoke about yesterday during a little break of ours, because we take our little breaks together. I go, come on, guys, let's take a little break together. Because before I didn't take a break, I didn't really have anybody to really take a break with. So, I just worked the clock. Sometimes I'd just sit down, just, breathe, close my eyes, and then I'd get back to work. But now it's nice because I have, more interaction, and I've got two beautiful souls in front of me, and I'm able to teach them things that I've learned in my spiritual walk, not just spiritually, but in my professional life.
Right.
And because I struggled in my professional life at that time when I was their age, I feel like that I can be an asset for them.
Yes.
So that they can grow.
You're their fearless leader.
Yeah, I'm their fearless. Yeah, you're my fearless leader, and I'm theirs.
Right.
And they're so sweet to me, and I don't even feel like a boss. It's so funny, but I don't feel like a boss. I just feel like they're my helpers.
But when you need to be, you take that. You do when you need to be, when it's called for. You're very good about knowing when to pull out that card and redirect them, or intervene or do what a boss needs to do. And so you definitely have good balance.
And what helped is that I've taken some leadership classes and read some books on leadership, and that has really helped me. I mean, it came out of nowhere after, this was like when I was in college, I was reading some books on leadership skills, because I felt like later I was going to be a leader of some kind, and I don't want to be the boss. I never want to feel like I'm above anybody else, or I don't want to ever feel like I'm better than any, because that's not true.
Sure.
And nobody is better than anyone. And I always instill that with my employees now. I tell them,
but you can be a boss and
anybody.
not that kind of boss.
That's right.
I mean, yeah.
And there's ways of talking to people, without hurting the spirit. You have constructive criticism, but you don't have to hurt that person's spirit, because we don't know what they've been through. You tell me that all the time. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know who's more resilient than others. Right. So all that comes to my mind, too, when I speak to them. There's a lot I've learned here.
I've seen you grow. I believe that, because I've seen you grow
for me.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't mean to tear. It's just, it's a moment, because I feel like I'm finally living some purpose in my life.
Yeah.
And in the things that I've learned in this world are not of waste. It's to show other people and give them what they need. So
even the difficult things, right? Like even the hard things we go through.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody, I think this morning, about that. Like even the hard things we go through, there's great purpose for, and just really looking at that. Or I know that I look at things like that, and I think you do too, just based on our conversations. It's like there's so much opportunity to touch somebody's life in a positive, constructive way, whether it's our clients, whether it's each other. I really pride myself in saying that even our clinicians can say, man, I'm having a day that just sucks, or I'm having a hard time in life, and it's okay. We just accept people where they're at, even our staff. Now, that doesn't mean that, they still have to then be a professional in their interaction with our clients, but we just allow and hold space for each other even. There's days that I'm having a really crappy day, and I'll tell you that. I'll be like, I'm having a bad day. And, and you many times have just tried to uplift me and be like, oh, it's okay. Your day will get better, and then at the end of our conversation, you're like, I hope you feel better. It'll be all right. Like, I don't, and again, I think you just don't really hold much weight in that, because that's just who you are. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And this place would be very different without you, truly.
Mary,
you have brought so much. into just by the beautiful soul that you are. You know, you've brought so much into
I don't know
workplace.
why I'm so touched easily by people's energy and their stories are beautiful, you know, even like the things that they've overcome. It's just so beautiful to see that, you know, and then I love every clinician that you hired here. All of them have something so special about them.
Yes, they're amazing. I agree. And then the holistic team, you know, they bring their own addition to the team, you know. It's amazing.
And so energetically, like here, especially learning Reiki, I need to still get my practice done. But after doing those classes with understanding that energy, you know, and the way we can heal one another. And it's nice because most of them that had done the class with us, we had another bond, another level of bond, not just being, you know, I work at this building and I'm the business manager. It was more like, I feel like there's some connection with us spiritually, all of us. And sometimes, like you said, when you're having a bad day or somebody else is having a bad day, I don't necessarily intake that feeling, but more or less just kind of cleanse the air for them and send them good love or, you know, good feeling of things are going to be good today. You know, this is all part of it and we're here together. It's almost like if we held hands together, we would just be healed within minutes, you know. So it's actually, it's hard to explain, and I'm sure your listeners are probably going, what is she talking about? But until they go through the classes or understand how that works spiritually, or maybe they do, you know, I don't know. I just speak, and sometimes they're like, what is she talking about? But it is. It's when you walk into this building, even some of your clients, they come into the office and they're like, I just love the energy in here. And they're so cute, you know. So I like it. I like that I could come to work and feel positive, you know. And, of course, you know, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes there's a little bit more than I can handle in a day. But I have to remember that it's just today. Tomorrow comes and I can get that done tomorrow. You know, I'm the kind of person that likes to get things done immediately. As soon as I get them, I don't like to wait. And that's probably a good thing, but then it's bad for me because I'm like sitting there thinking, I know I got to get this done. I got to get this done. But now that I have the staff that I have, I feel like I can delegate a lot more stuff. So it really is nice.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah. So, yeah, Odyssey's awesome. Most people that come through here, they think it's awesome here. And that's no wonder you have 45 people on your wait list.
Yeah. Yeah, which we're trying to work on.
That's right.
Right.
So if anybody's out there and they're a clinician,
you're looking for a counseling job, give us a call.
You can hang out with me, too, once in a while. No, I'm just kidding.
But, you know, what was I going to say? You have a tough job. You deal with managed care companies. All these HMOs like Presbyterian and Blue Cross and all the changes that, you know, go on. And, oh, my God, like, that's, you know, a headache.
You know, that part of the business is interesting because not only do you have Presbyterian, BCBS, Cigna, UMR, United Health, I could go on and on. But inside the network, you have different types of coverage for every single clinician. So I'm not dealing with just like 10 networks. I'm dealing with 200 different types of, how do you say, policies. And they all run differently.
Have different plans.
Every single one of them is different. And that's where I start with training. Never think that the same thing that I'm teaching you here is going to be the same the next. Every single one of them is different.
Yes, it's so true. And that's the hard part, you know. And I know because before I had staff, because I haven't always had staff, there was a time when I did all of this myself. I did my own billing. I did my own credentialing. I did, you know, and so, yeah, I don't even know how I did it, but, like, I know. And then you're doing more of that. You know, Odyssey Counseling was not as big at that time when I was doing it. So hats off to you that you can manage and as we expand, because we're not done growing.
Well, I also feel that I'm a light worker in some ways for you to do what you need to do to get other people healed.
What does that mean for our viewers who may not know?
Light workers are like, okay, so have you ever seen, I know this is a bad analogy, or maybe a cute one, I don't know, but have you ever seen that movie Ants?
No, I haven't.
You've never seen
Ants? I have.
They all work together, right?
Like a cartoon, huh?
Yeah, it's like a little cartoon. Then you got the Ming, and they're building this big mountain, or they're trying to build this. It's like a working facility, right? And these little ants are the ones that are the light workers. They do all the background work, so that way the big work can get done. Without those little light workers, they can't do what they need to do up here. So I feel like that's where I am. That's where God wants me right now, is to be a light worker. And then he's growing my spirit and my soul, and I'm growing so that way I can do what he wants me to do.
Right.
So,
which one of the next chapters of your life is?
I'll be going back to school to get my master's program, my master's degree in for my LMSW. Yes.
And you start that when?
I start in August this year, and it's a 2-year accelerated program. And I'm really excited. I really never gave myself enough credit. So I'm at that point now where I feel like I'm more confident in myself. And there was time, believe it or not, in my life where I was not as confident as a woman in my stance. And what I mean by that is I never thought I was smart. I know. But you tell me all the time, you're a smart cookie.
You are. Very.
And I just never gave myself credit.
And I know that you don't, I think you still don't give yourself credit. But more so you do, because otherwise you wouldn't be venturing out and going back to school. You know,
that's right.
It took a lot of working up to that, and now you're excited, and I'm sure you're just going to do awesome. And you're like in the best place now, right? Because you're surrounded by counselors and social workers.
I'm so lucky. And then, of course, they're like, I'm here to help you if you have any questions, you know. So I will be taking them up on that, of course. You know, I hope they're listening. But anyways, yeah, they know. I'm really excited. I think I'm in the best place where I'm supposed to be. Because who would have thought that not only did I want to be a counselor or a social worker in my life, but to have so much support. And when I went to, I actually cried when I got accepted. Me being accepted to that program was huge for me.
What did that mean for you?
Well, it just means that I'm exactly where I need to be. You know,
like it was confirmation.
Yes, absolutely. And mainly because I struggled, believe it or not, in my elementary years. I was in special education. And it wasn't because I was, you know, not intelligent or I didn't have the smarts. It's just I had so much distraction. Yes. You know, I had grown up with 10 brothers and sisters. So
that's a lot.
That says a lot, right?
Holy cow.
So, there was never study time. I always just wanted to play, to be honest with you. And so I never really was interested in school, and the teachers really didn't teach me anything. I pretty much had to teach myself. I really don't even remember my elementary years, you know. But I never thought I'd even want to go back to school after the experiences that I've had in my elementary years. So when I went back to college, I had a lot of support. I also had a mentor that helped me get through there as well. And I don't know if maybe I might have had ADHD. Maybe. I don't think you could get it I don't think you have ADHD when you're older, though.
Or anxiety.
Yeah.
They look a lot alike.
Yeah, they do. So thank you, by the way, Mary, for the recommendation for my letter of recommendation for Highlands University.
That was easy to do, truly.
And Teresa also sent me a really nice recommendation, which I appreciate her so much for that, and my mentor out in London. I think what are the odds of getting 3 counselors to sending you a recommendation to a Highlands University? I don't think they get that very much, you know, for a person to get 3, not 1, but 3. Every single one of them as your, you know, the 3 recommenders. And my 4-page letter of why I wanted to become a social worker. Mm-hmm. So,
which is?
Oh gosh.
If you could summarize that.
We'll just say for now, maybe you'll invite me over for my testimonial one day, but we'll just say that I was able to have an awakening moment when I realized that I was so dysfunctional. Mm-hmm. And not so much of a bad relationship, but me not being able to be in a relationship. There was something definitely said under that. Mm-hmm. And, thank God my kids still love me. Well, of course they love me, right? But they did suffer a little bit, from my bad decision making. I was successful, believe it or not. I took care of my 4 daughters. I was single, and I struggled at times. And I just wanted to wake up, if anybody wants to know what that means. I needed to wake up. And I fought so hard to not be in that dysfunction and recognize that. I recognize that when you come from big families like that, it's automatic.
Oh, yeah.
It's
10
automatic.
Kids. That's a lot.
Yeah. And I love my family so much, but, we also, they don't, I don't even know if they see it in themselves sometimes, or they do. But the truth is, 99.9% of the world population is what I heard is dysfunctional in some ways.
Well, yeah, when you take the definition, Yeah.
So, it's not a bad thing. It just means we live in the world. Mm-hmm. We live in a toxic society. Mm-hmm. So we have to discern what is right and what is not right. Mm-hmm. And I thank God for that gift that I have, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to climb so high in my life, as far as my success, in myself, for myself. Mm-hmm. Because success doesn't come financially.
Yeah, for
Success sure. comes emotionally, and it comes professionally.
Yeah, you definitely have to have more than money to motivate you in life, because, that can't be. I feel anyways, like that's not what motivates me. What motivates me is people, and helping people heal, helping people get from point A to point D,
But, I think that the most profound thing that I've ever done for myself, regardless of all the things that have happened, is to keep humility in you. Keep that in your heart. And be kind. Mm-hmm. No matter what you do in this world, if you're kind and you just are grateful and have humility,
it's so important, for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, and that was my biggest lessons, or how do you say it? My biggest hurdle, because I went through so much in my teens, my 20s, and I just didn't want to have that heart, Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be a loving person. No matter what people did to you, you can't do anything about what they do. Mm-hmm. But we can control our own selves and how we are as people. And that was like my biggest thing, because I had some stuff happen to me, and I was so embarrassed about it, and I needed to change. I was desperate for change. Mm-hmm. And, that's why I think when I become a social worker, I don't know, some of my clients are going to really laugh, because I will make them laugh, of course, but at the same time, they're going to see things in themselves that they've never seen. Because I know I see it keenly with my eyes, and I see things. And
well, I always say, when I teach some of the counselors and social workers in the classes I do, I always say we cannot take our clients where we haven't been. You've clearly done a lot of work on yourself, and that's a big part of what's going to make you an excellent social worker. Yeah. Is being able to know, not that you're going to share that with them, because that's, you can't really self-disclose, but up here knowing that's what you've gone through in life, what you've worked through, how you worked through it, remembering the struggle, having a lot of empathy for that struggle, and just really, and then having all the knowledge that you're going to gain from your program that will allow you to help people get past where they're at.
It's going to be amazing. And then, of course, I have Odyssey behind me.
You do, absolutely.
And
hopefully then you'll work here.
Yeah, of course, right? And resilience and allies. What other businesses do you have? Oh, my gosh.
In perspectives.
You're doing amazing. Yeah. I'm so thankful to work for somebody like you. You're an inspiration, not only to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people out there. I think that when we choose to work for someone, I say they have to inspire you. Mm-hmm. And you definitely have that. The gift that you have received in this lifetime is amazing. And I am happy to be a little light worker for you right now.
Yeah, well, I feel very blessed, to have, to just encounter the people. And then there are just some people, and I would include you in this, that sometimes just make an impact on me, truly, that, that I just think that I'm inspired by. You are definitely an inspiration to me because you've been through a lot in your life, and we've talked about it, and you never give up, and you just always, strive to get better and better and better, to work on yourself and work through things and just develop yourself and improve yourself, which I think is amazing. I really do, and I don't mean just from a business standpoint that you strive to improve yourself, but personally and spiritually, you're constantly working on you. And I do too. I do the same thing, but a lot of people are not like that. And so that is very inspiring. I really,
Well, I also have to give you a lot of that credit too, because you don't slack with me. You're very straight with me. And I read this, I don't even know where, and I probably read it 100 times somewhere in my past. But if you allow people to give you that constructive criticism, to see where you're at, even though it hurts sometimes. Oh my God, does it not hurt when somebody says, are you having an okay day today, or are you just off today? What's going on? And you're like, oh my gosh, she noticed, but it's good because it helps you check yourself twice and look at what you're doing and what you're doing it for and how you want to be as a professional. I'm talking on a professional level, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I never thought I would ever be a business manager. I knew I wanted to. Of course, I wanted to be a business manager. I'm a great boss. Mm-hmm. I'm very good at business. I know that. I have that natural gift. But bringing that business aspect and having that professional attitude, that was where I struggled because I like to play a lot. Like, I'm a joker. I like to laugh. And, I take things lightly, And even though I have that lightness in me and like that nonchalant stuff, I still have that understanding about business and how important it is. Mm-hmm. And I thank you for allowing me to have that balance, because anywhere else I've worked, they didn't take me serious because I'm funny. I'm a joker. I probably have a little character flaw. Do you blame me? I mean, look what I've been through. Yeah.
It's not a character flaw. I think it makes people feel comfortable around you.
Yeah.
Which is really important for people to feel comfortable. I mean, you're now you have staff, but before you were like the first person that our potential clients would come in contact with. You are the point of contact and the main point of contact for the public, for our clinicians, for our holistic team. And so your personality is important, and you make people feel comfortable. You do joke with them, and then when it's time to get down to business, you do that too. You definitely have that balance.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which I think is great. Yes. Knowing when to joke and be crazy and silly, and then knowing when, okay, but we have work to do, so we'll get back to it,
Yeah. And before I struggled with my professional life, I was in sales for many years, so of course, you play and laugh and talk around and, so of course, I learned a lot of my professional skills in previous jobs, but There's a little bit of difference when it comes to business because you're dealing with somebody's business, you know, and they have to trust you. You have to totally trust me that I'm going to take care of the stuff that needs to be taken care of. Because if I mess up, your business folds.
Well, I mean, and you've done so much with that. Like, I've never had somebody work for me. I'm going to say this honestly. In your capacity that has been so invested in bringing revenue into the company so that all the other good things can happen, right? So that we can grow and expand, you know, have another building, which we're looking for, right? To be, well, it takes money to pay for that, you know? And I've never had somebody that goes the extra mile to collect on those denials, to hound Blue Cross Blue Shield or whoever, you know, to make sure that we are getting paid the money that we deserve to get paid so that we can do the other things, so that we can pay our clinicians, so that we can, you know, keep the lights on, right?
That's right.
But I've never had somebody like you. I mean, last year, you brought in about $30,000 in unclaimed, you know, pay, right, from denials and different things. And it took you, sometimes you wanted to, you know, I think bang your head against the wall because that didn't come easy. Sometimes that involved writing letters to these companies and, you know, pulling up documents and information that you already had provided for them. You know, how many times has that happened where you have to resubmit the same stuff over and over and over, but not giving up because you care. You care. That is not easily found. And I really, really appreciate it a lot, you know, because then I don't have to worry about it. I can just entrust you with it, know it's going to get done, and then I can go out into the community or go develop programs or whatever I need to do to grow us, you know, and provide more services for people. Well, I don't ever worry about it. If I'm gone out of town, I know that you're taking care of, you're holding down the fort here.
Yeah. So that I had to learn because I knew there was a way. I'm up for the challenge. I want you to be proud of me. I want you to know that you made a right decision when you hired me. And that's just in me. And also because I believe in what you're doing.
Yes.
I totally believe in what you're doing. And I want to see this expand and grow because you talked about that when I first met you. And we talked about having the EAP and then having massage therapy and Reiki and then yoga therapy, and the sound bar is going to be amazing. Like all these things, it's going to be like one of those places where how could you not want to come to get some kind of healing? People are desperate, and I see it.
Yes.
I've been desperate. I know what that feels like.
Me too.
So do you know that I'm going to back this up 100%? I will go out and learn whatever I need to so you can get that money so we can grow and have bigger buildings. And plus, I'm going to be working here as a social worker.
Yes,
I want a nice office. I want my own.
Yes, you are. Yeah, your own that you can decorate. You have your own office.
I know, but you know. I know I do have a nice office.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, it's pretty nice, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, I do. I am proud of you. And really, we would not have been able to grow as much as we have without you. Truly, I really believe that. It hadn't happened. So, I mean, the person in your position, you know, it's really key. And it's, you're responsible a lot for the growth that we've seen. And I think we make a good team, you and I.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
We
really
tag
do.
team for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely am thankful for the gift that I have, that I'm able to learn and grasp things and quickly take charge and not be afraid.
Oh, yeah. If there's something you don't know, you're like, I will learn.
That's right.
I don't know, but give me a few days and I will find out. It blows me away sometimes. And you do find out, you know. Yeah. And that's how I am. I think we're definitely kindred spirits.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that you and I are a lot alike, you know, truly. And because that's how I am, I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know. No, there's an obstacle. I'm going to figure a way around it. And that's how you are. You're like, I don't know yet, but I will know.
It's always fun when we
get
talk,
back to you in a week. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I have to tell you, it's actually funny because I'm not going to say who, but we'll just say that I have this attitude in life now where I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm fearless. Like kind of like you. You're fearless. You'll go for it. You say what you need to say to get what you need. And, you know, in so many, not to be rude to anybody, but what I'm saying is I will go and make sure I make 10 phone calls and talk to somebody and explain it 100 times if I have to get an answer. But I don't give up.
No, you don't.
Right? So when I started to train our workers, the staff, I noticed, the professionalism that we have, sometimes we have to be a little bit more aggressive, to get what we need. We have to make that phone call and be a little bit more forceful. Otherwise, if they won't take you serious, right?
Sure.
Especially the network. Sorry, guys. But anyways, I sat there and I go, okay, we're going to role play. We're going to role play. I'm like, role play? I'm like, yeah, pretend I'm the network. Okay.
Did you do this?
Oh yeah, and they were
Wow.
laughing. Okay, at the time it wasn't funny because I was like, you're gonna be, don't be timid, be forceful. Do not show that you're intimidated by anybody. That's the number one rule when you work in an office. Never show that you're timid or that somebody. Okay, don't give up.
Yeah, I always say don't ever let them see you sweat.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so this person comes to me later, like 3 days later, like, boss, did you just have me role play for you? He goes, I went home and I thought about it. He goes, I thought that was kind of funny. I said, well, it's true. Did you get something out of it? He goes, yeah, I sure did. I said, good. Now you know. I said, that's the way we need to be in business and in life. I said, because there's ways of getting through to people without being rude. But we have to sometimes take it a little bit farther. Otherwise, people don't take you serious.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And if they hear that little soft, timid voice, guess what? They're going to try to just run right over you.
Yeah, and
don't do that.
blow you off. Well, see, you already know a great skill that's going to help you when you're a social worker.
Yeah.
Because role-playing with your clients is
Oh,
going
is
to be...
it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're going to love it then because I love to
Yeah.
role play.
Yeah, that's a really...
It's one of my specialties.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. Well, thank you for coming on today. You came in on your day off. I appreciate it so much, and I appreciate you. And you've been here now, gosh, over 2 years, and I look forward to just more years with you here and to see the growth that, is going to continue happening, including your own growth, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Watching you grow as a clinician and, and a holistic practitioner, it's just exciting.
And you tell me not to worry about anything, but in a couple of years, we need a good business manager, or at least somebody that we can trust, right?
Yeah. Well, we know that person will come.
Yeah, it will come.
Yeah.
And you're like,
just
don't
like
worry,
you came.
Don't worry. I'm like, okay.
Well, look how you came.
Yeah, that's
totally
true.
out of the blue. Yeah. So I know I have.
Here I am.
Yeah, I have 150% faith that person will be there when the time comes.
Absolutely.
And we need them to be so that you can move on and do social work and be a holistic practitioner.
And I look forward to our next journey in expanding all your new holistic sides. So that's going to be amazing to watch.
Yeah,
from a distance.
It's exciting. Well, look how much we've grown just in the past year and a half through COVID. Through COVID, we grew. I mean, that's amazing.
And when I first started,
truly.
That's what you said. You said, watch, we're going to get there. I go, yep, I already see it, Mary. I already see it. You will be. I said, I already see it. So now our next thing is to make sure that we use our, what do they call our statement?
Mission statement.
That's right.
Yeah.
So to be continued.
To be continued. And maybe I will have you come sometime and give your testimonial personally, because I think that it's very inspiring for other people. And if you had the time to do that, so switching gears, right, and just telling your personal testimony.
Yeah, I would love that.
I think there are people out there that would be amazed and feel like, I really can work past my past and not be limited, not let my past hold
That's
me
right.
down. So. Well, thank everybody. Thank all our viewers and our listeners. Thank our producer, Mike Suarez, who's always here in the background, though. But I couldn't be doing this without him either. I've learned so much from him about equipment, and also just feedback that he'll give me. And he's very camera shy, so you probably will hardly see him. At some point, I'll be having him on the show to talk about ballooning, because he is a pilot and owns his own balloon, and so he will be a guest. He'll be on this side of the camera at some point. So, but again, thank you, Cynthia, and thank you, Mike, and thank you, everyone. You guys have a wonderful afternoon and evening.
And a happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. And also, you can find this podcast on our website, remotely-unique.com, on our YouTube channel, Remotely Unique, on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music. Thanks a lot. Be good to yourself and to each other.